Hello and welcome to another episode of Tree Service Marketing Profits Podcast. I'm your host, Wesley Smith with Tree Service Digital, and we've got an episode today. You're going to enjoy this about a tree care industry provider who helps tree service businesses really kind of streamline their office administrative things and different types of services in the office. And we'll get into that here in just a few minutes. If you're on the podcast, like and subscribe to the podcast or the YouTube channel. We've got plenty more videos coming up about marketing topics, new things that are on the brink for 2025, and then also more interviews coming up soon. Today, we've got Paula Veloza with Tree Care Office on. Paula, welcome aboard.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, thanks so much. So I've seen you guys before, I know, at the trade shows and TCIA, Arbor Expo, and you guys have a booth every year, kind of like we do. And Tree Care Office is really compelling. You guys help tree service businesses kind of streamline that office stuff. Tell us a little bit about what you guys do for those tree companies.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, thank you for, making the time to have this conversation. So, we've had the opportunity to meet in different conferences. We try to be we try to be out there meeting like new clients all the time. And what we mainly do, we focus on providing back office support to trigger companies. So from West Coast to East Coast, so they can like focus on being out there, enjoying what they actually love, which is being with the crew, climbing, managing clients, is instead of worrying about all the burden of the administrative tasks and contracts, emails, calls, scheduling things. So we provide professionals that are in Latin America. They're all fully bilingual, and that offers the opportunity to save in terms of costs when it comes to hiring someone in the United States. But they would work directly with our clients as a normal employee. But as Trigger Office, we would take care of all the administrative and the burden of the payroll liabilities and all that part. So as I was saying before, owners and crews at the tree care industry can focus on what they love the most.
That's awesome. Okay, and the great benefit too, a lot of people have outsourced into different parts of the world before, but I think with South America, the time zones are going to be similar as to what we have here in the US as well, right? So it probably makes it a little bit more of a synergy there. People are awake while we're awake type thing, right?
Correct. That's the main difference. So there are two different concepts when it comes to outsourcing. You can talk about offshore and nearshore. Offshore is anything that is not in your same time zone. So 8, 9, 10, 12 hours difference. But nearshore is when it is in your same time zone, maybe 1 hour, 1 hour behind or 1 hour later, but technically it's the same time zone. And the proximity. The proximity also helps, like, for example, if you want to travel there, we have, in our case, Trigger Office, we have a beautiful facility in Colombia. So you can travel there, you can meet with your team, you can do trainings in person. Or, also they can travel to the States, attend to different conferences, like provide that support on site whenever you need them to. And also the fact that we're so close and we have the same time zone is we've seen the culture, right? In terms of culture, there's an affinity there because we grow up as Hispanics. We grow up with a lot of American like TV shows, music. Even in school, we're learning the language, and we're so close to the American culture that when it comes to working together, it's like you don't see any difference. There's a lot of affinity, and we're very proactive, analytical, and that helps a lot when it comes to working with an American company.
That's great. Yeah, and the time zone thing is huge. And I learned something new today. I'd never heard the term near shore. That's a new term. I think I saw it on your website or saw it somewhere. That's something I learned
Yes.
today. So near shore, offshore. Okay, cool. All right, so that's good. So we've established kind of you help the tree service businesses with their back office support, and that could be a lot of different things, right? So I think what one of the things probably is you guys answer the phones for them and then maybe input the leads into their CRM like Jobber, Arbor Gold, Single Op, something like that, right?
Correct. All our people, they are experienced in all the CRMs that are like the most important ones in the trigger industry. So you name it, they're like Jobber, Single Ops, Arbor Node, Arbor Gold. And if we don't have that experience with that specific CRM, it's as simple as you help us understanding how it works. But the main concept of a CRM, we do have it. And the fact that everyone, they're very tech savvy, so they know how to use Teams, Zoom, Slack, whatever platform we use, same as the CRM and same as different phone numbers, the VOI that they need to utilize to answer the calls. So we're very familiar with all of this. We actually have an amazing IT team that, someone who can provide that support if we need to. So they are on top of everything, making sure that the phone is ringing all the time, the emails are working, the internet, we're not having any issues. And I think something very important is, as a company, we understand that we're working with very sensitive and important information for our clients. That's why we are an ISO 27001 certified company, which is related to cybersecurity. So every single year we're getting certified again, so we can give our clients that confidence and they can trust that their information, even though their team is working from a different country, their information is 100% secured, and that we are protecting the equipments and everything all the time.
Oh, that's super important. Yeah. And probably helps people feel a little bit more comfortable with anything like that. So that's great that you guys have those certifications. So yeah, as far as like managing tree service companies CRM, so the calls come in or emails come in from the website leads or wherever these leads are coming in, phone calls, website form submissions, chats, whatever, your team member that you guys can place with the tree service company to help them with their office staff will basically take those leads and either enter them into the CRM and then maybe shoot out estimates or maybe follow up on invoices that have not been paid and just do all of that stuff that they're constantly maybe not getting around to doing because they're so busy running their business, right?
Correct. Exactly. Like, I think the best part of the service is that is 100% customizable. What do you need? What's your process? And we will do what you need us to do. If you say, hey, step 1, answer the call. Step 2, put like data entry in the CRM. Step 3, send an email to whoever. Or step 3, schedule a meeting or schedule a visit, or we will do it that way. Like, we adapt to their internal process. And as I was saying, like, the person would report directly to our client. It's not that, oh, it's a random person in a random country that knows where. No, this is very much like, this is your team and they would follow your instructions.
That's great. Yeah. And so aside from that too, and those particular services, I mean, you had mentioned something before we started recording. I think like the bookkeeping or different types of administrative tasks with payroll in the office, all of those types of things too that take up a lot of time or an additional employee, correct? You guys do that too.
Yes, the main roles that we've seen are, or the roles that are more impactful that we've seen are like anything related with QuickBooks, like a bookkeeper or schedulers or customer service. We also do utility billing. Like I would say those are like the key ones. And as I was saying, like, as you get to customize and as we have this recruitment team, sometimes what we do is we just have the conversation with our client and they say, hey, this is what I'm looking for. And I know it's like a unicorn kind of person, but is it possible maybe to just mix different tasks here and there? Let's do it. And that's what we call an office admin or an office manager if they need an office manager. But most of the time, we see a lot of office admin working for trickier companies. And they handle different tasks from getting phone calls, sending emails, managing invoices, CRM, you name it. Even sometimes like helping here and there with some social media. But I mean, even though it's not their specialty, but it's just the point is one person who can handle different tasks and help the client with those things.
Yeah, no, that's great. It's fantastic. Because a lot of it too, like managing photos, like, like us as a marketing agency, we are always asking our clients for more and more photos of like job site photos and, up in the trees or your equipment, your trucks, your crew members, your team photos, whatever. And so they take the pictures a lot of times in the field, the crew members will, but then it lives on their cell phone and nobody knows how to get it to us. So then there's a bottleneck.
Exactly.
Yeah, little
Exactly.
things like that, right? Yeah. So that's
Correct.
awesome. Yeah. So
Correct. And what you're saying, for example, is saying like, hey, who I can send this to, and that person, how that person can manage, right? Sharing the information to the right person, like saying, oh, I got this really cool picture of the crew cutting trees and doing their magic. Okay, who do I send this to? And I'm sending, so an agency or an expert can take care of posting, social media, working on website, I don't know, different things. But the whole point is what you're saying there, that they do it and they're just going to keep it on their phones because they're so busy and they're focused on, getting the job done, that they're not going to worry about how to create like different value or value different ways, and how can they be more efficient in the back office part.
Yeah, because there's a lot of moving parts to running a business, and there's all these
Yes.
dots that have to be connected every day, right? So
Yes.
that's really nice to have that. So take us through this just a little bit. So say there's a tree service business owner and he's out managing, he's grown his business, he's got a couple of crews and they're busy. They're really growing the business, and they have some issues with maybe handling all their calls. Maybe they're missing 15 to 30% of their phone calls or not responding to leads quick enough in the office. Take us through what that looks like. So I guess they reach out to you or
Mhm.
your team, and they basically just kind of you guys go through a strategy session, probably talk kind of like this on a Zoom call or whatever, and then just go through kind of their needs, and then you customize a solution for them. Correct?
Correct. So we have that first conversation with them. We make sure we understand what the need is, and sometimes we can advise our clients to say, hey, maybe you don't need to focus so much here. There's another solution who can, someone who can help you a little bit more, and is this other way. And once we understand that job description, we can say that's when we start filtering, and we can provide the right person who would be working with them, who would make all the introductions. And once they're sure that that is the person they want to be working with, that's when we move forward with, all the administrative, fun HR stuff in the back. Our clients don't have to worry about those things. They just have to confirm the start date, and then voila, then we will have the person starting.
That's
As
great.
easy as that. And our goal is to make their lives easier as well.
Good. Yeah. And one thing I forgot to ask earlier, whenever this new employee of theirs starts working and they're remote, they have, I guess, access to some sort of phone system if they need to make outbound calls for the tree service company too,
Absolutely.
correct?
Absolutely. Yes. Sometimes like the client, they say like, oh, we already have a system. We will provide the phone number. If not, Trigger Office would provide phone number with the same area code of, the client. So it looks like the person is in that same area. And it would be as easy as that. They would have the phone number. They can send text messages. They can call. They can do anything as if they were in the States.
That's amazing. All right. Well, that's great. Sounds like you guys have a really robust offering for the tree service space, and really niched into that tree care office space where you can just take care of the back office administrative tasks. One last question, I guess, unless you have any other, compelling points we want to bring up here, is are they going to be paying tree care office for this employee, or do they pay the employee directly some way?
Yeah, that's a great question. So part of making their lives easier is they don't have to worry about sending money anywhere, like outside of the country, or paying the person directly. We're an American company. We're based out of Florida, but we run our operation in Latin America. But this is a contract like company to company, B2B. So you would just be paying Tricare office for any service. The contract, everything is with us. So, you make sure that everything is in place. And of course, we will make sure that as we have the contract with our staff in Latin America, we will make sure that we're paying all the, salaries and benefits because they're all benefited. That's why, turnover is really low because we give them that stability of saying, this is a real job. This is not just a seasonal one or, something that it's not going to help you in your career. This is a real job. You're going to have your benefits. You're going to have your salary. You have your schedule, 40 hours a week. And, when people see that they are treated with respect, with love, that you care about them, that's when their commitment gets really high and they are going to give it all when they're working for you. We have seen it, and that's what makes the whole difference. And also when you understand, even though they're in another country, when you treat them as your own team, like if they're with you, that's a game changer. That makes everything easier, and their commitment is incredible.
That's great. Yeah, thank you for that. Is it full-time only, or can people hire part-time?
It's either part-time or full-time. So 20 hours a week or 40 hours a week. And this is mainly for what I'm saying, like to being able to provide a very stable job. And that's going to help with turnover. So they're not going to feel like, oh, I'm just working 10 hours a week or 30 hours a week. We have a few clients that they don't need as many hours, like 20 or 40. But that's a conversation that sometimes we have here and there, and we always figure that out in some way.
Oh yeah, no, I just asked because people may have that question or whatever too.
Yeah,
So
no,
great.
and it's a great question.
Yeah.
Actually, there's another important topic there that some companies, they would say, hey, but it's just that I need someone on site, right? Someone who can go in person and can visit my clients, or someone who can go and do, I don't know, check up with the team, or I need someone on site. Another service that we provide is recruitment. We call it RPO, as recruitment process outsourcing. And this service is a team of recruiters that are experienced in the tree care industry. And you just have to give us the titles, saying like, hey, I need 5 climbers or 2 technicians, or what roles you need, what location, and we will take care of recruiting, like sourcing, filtering, pre-screening candidates, and then we will just share those resumes with the manager in charge, so we can help like scheduling interviews, and so our clients can hire that person on site, but we're helping them with the recruitment part, because we understand that that's another like pain point that our clients have sometimes, that is like, there's a high turnover. I'm not able to find really good talent in my area. What can I do? So he's saying, hey, our recruiters are experienced. They know how to do it. They have their strategies. They have all the tools they need. Just let us know what you need, and we're going to start providing all the resumes so you can start interviewing and hiring and building your crew.
That's great. I was going to ask you like what's on the horizon for Tree Care Office, but it sounds like you kind of just went through that. You're kind of helping them hire on site, like local employees as well. So that's another bolt-on service, which is nice. So that's amazing. Good. So they can part-time, full-time. Even if they start part-time, you probably can move them up to full-time, because I'm sure they
Correct.
continue to find things for this person to do, right, as they
Correct.
improve themselves and all of that. So that's perfect. That's great. Okay. And then the on-site job hiring process, you guys help with that. Any other things that maybe we didn't talk about, or anything that you're like thinking of doing in the future for these tree service companies, or anything you want to share?
No, I mean, I think there's a lot of opportunity there. And our main goal is to help the companies in the tree care industry so they can scale, they can grow, right? And they can grow in a very healthy way. Because you can grow, but at the end of the day, you're not sure of what's going on with your all the admin part, and or the numbers or things like that. So we're excited and we're passionate about helping other clients with the back office support. And that's our main priority right now. We understand that when you focus, you win. And that's what we're doing. We're focusing on providing the best service in terms of back office, in terms of recruitment, even IT. So that's our main goal right now. And I think, from what we have seen with the past few years that we've had the opportunity to be part of the tree care industry, we have seen an explosion, a big growth there, and the impact that the service can have in the tree care industry, in the companies. So that's our priority right now. And any help that any company would need, like, we're here to assist you.
That's great. No, I can see that being a massive help because, again, like we were talking about, it's like you start your business, you start becoming successful in your tree service business, for example, arborist, whatever, type of sector of the tree service they're doing. And eventually you've got a couple of crews, you've got a lot of personnel. And it's like, man, who can I have to do my back office work if they don't necessarily have an employee for that? Or maybe they don't even really necessarily have like an office, like a building that they go to.
Exactly.
Maybe they run the business out of their house, right? And they still need somebody virtually that can just do all of these admin tasks that have to get done to move the business forward.
Correct.
That's what you guys
Correct. And we're very flexible in terms of, you want the person to be remote, they can be remote. We have a beautiful facility, as I was mentioning earlier. So whenever you start building your team, right, you have like, I don't know, 2, 3, 5, 10, 20 people in your team, they can be in our office. So, we've seen that when they're in person, magic happens, that collaboration within the team. So that's another option as well. So as I always say, this is about getting creative and customize the service as best, in the best possible way for you.
Yeah, well, there you go, guys. Paula just let us know and dropped it like it's hot over here. If you have any problems in your office, you're good at running your tree service business, but you have problems with organization, office stuff, that's what they do best, and they can take that off your hands. So if you realize you have a problem, you probably do have one, and you need to call these guys to kind of come in and do a consultation with you and see what you may need. Paula, do you want to just kind of verbally tell everybody what your contact info is or where to go? Maybe go to Tree Care Office website. We'll also put it in the show notes in the podcast and the description and everything. But if you want to just tell everybody where to go too.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can visit triggeroffice.com. That's our website. There you can see like more examples of different services that we can provide. And you can also like watch a really cool video that we have with our team, our facilities, showing the city. It's really nice. So you guys get excited to also be part of the team. And my contact information, I think you're going to share it with them in the chat, but there's my phone number, my email. You can reach out to me directly, or you can do it through the website. Either way, we're going to get back to you, and we can have that first conversation just to, figure out how we can help you.
Yeah, this has been great. Well, thanks so much for your time, Paula, and sharing everything you guys do at Tree Care Office. We'll put everything in the description of the YouTube video and in the show notes on the podcast audio. And if you have any questions, just reach out to Paula. If you have any questions or just want to comment on it, just comment below the video on YouTube, and we'll be happy to come back and answer it shortly. And thanks so much for watching the video today. We got plenty more videos coming up and marketing topics as well. And Paula, you're welcome to come back anytime if you guys have any new updates or anything you want to share with the podcast.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the space.
All right. Thank you guys. Until the next video, we'll see you then.